Yes, people, welcome to Never a Foul. Rivals, not virals. We're back. You know what time it is, man. Every Sunday, giving you the lowdown on Saturday's games, Friday's games if there's some, and also talking the Sunday games as well. The worst part about it, you lot, is Cass ain't here because he done last night's show. So I'm here. I thought I'm putting on a Juve shirt. I'm not even repping United today, even though I am. But I'm hanging as well. I went to a bashment rave last night and my head's pounding, and now I've got to listen to Hamza. I've got to listen to Hamza for an hour. Oh my God!
I tell you what was you sipping on to deal with the pain, man? I know Ray was on that list.
You know what? I didn't even do that. You know, I didn't even do that. I was more captains than just Southern.
Yeah.
But it's run, man. I just keeping it to that, and then I'm not even gonna lie. By the end of the night, I was in the bottles of water. I was gone. Look, you can tell you know when you can see my eyes. Like my eyes, I'm trying to hide the bags in that. That's me right now. So I was sipping on the Ten Hag, really, though, if I'm honest. Boy, on the Eric, man. But guys, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe, do all that, man. Please make sure you get your super chats in as well. Obviously, we'll make sure we read them out as well. Big up everyone that's been supporting the channel. Obviously, 15,000 subscribers, and we keep moving and grooving. And obviously, big up the panel, because without you guys and you guys in the comments as well, the channel wouldn't be getting where it is. So big up, man. So yeah, get all your likes in, do all that as well. Romsey's already saying, have you checked on Cass? Yeah, man, he's rested up this morning, man. He's having a nice.
We had him on the Gegenpress last
night. I wanted Cass on this show. I wanted Cass on this show, man.
You know what I like? No one, even I'm a United fan, because I'm quite level. No one gets onto me like they get on Cass.
Yes.
No, I was even saying that to Cass last night. I was like, do you know what? You're lucky you're not on the morning show, because I want to get you tonight and the morning. But Ty, I can't get Ty, because Ty.
I don't gas it too much.
Yeah, bro.
But now, to be fair, you man can get onto me because I'm gonna get onto Ten Hag as well, man. But do you know what, George? It's so funny, yeah. Because I woke up this morning and I was like, "Raw, I've been on bare shows with George, yeah, and I feel like every show I've been on has been negative about Spurs. Like it's not even your fault. And the timing is just mad. I was like, I got to start with George today. I was like, the flack he's got in about 50 shows with me and that. It's time to start with Spurs. Like Spurs United, we have to talk about it. The good with Spurs and the deadness with us, man. But guys, obviously, big up everyone that's here. Man City Hardcore. Make sure you check out all the Twitters as well. It's on the Never a Foul Twitter page. Kendall, Man City Hardcore, obviously Greasy done as well, and then Lee is coming as well. Arsenal. But yeah, man, let's start with the Spurs thing because George, 2 games, 4 points, first home win under Ange, new manager, speaking like he's got A stars in English. I like the way he's moving. And yeah, you got the win yesterday, man. Let's talk of the positives for you, or you can gun me down.
For real. Like just on that, big Ange, it's really a new era in Spurs. Like you said, like I feel like he's press resistant for the press. Like no one can get him down with the questions. He's very well spoken. He knows what to say in the interviews. The Tottenham team, if you want to give it a Man United props, you can give them props for the first 20 minutes. That's it. They played a good 20-minute game. They pressed us high up the pitch. They caught us out a few times, which you're going to do. It's a new team. It's a young team. And sometimes you're going to catch mistakes. But once we grew into the game, we took control of it. As me and Don were saying, we spoke on the terrace a few days ago when we were doing the preview. And we said, look, Tottenham are going to dominate this game. We're going to have the ball. And once we grow into it, it's game over. The whole game, pretty much for me, it was won in the midfield battle. Man United started that same midfield trio, which Ten Hag's trying to be stubborn about because we know he brought Mount in to see if he could work. It's not working. And then you have the likes of Bissouma, Maddison and Sarr, who are real midfielders, a real number 8, a real number 10, and they're going to show you how to play this game. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. An absolutely dominant performance. I was happy with it all round. I do think that we could have done a bit better on the attack. We created some chances, but I wanted to see us be a bit more deadly. Richarlison's just not gonna work long term.
Yeah, he's not the guy, man. I feel it already through. Like,
it's like you can see it just literally watching the game from now.
It is watching him trying to like make the ball stick. Yeah, is horrible.
And it's just like watching him trying to fit in. Like he doesn't fit in the team. You could just see him running around. He's the one player that tactically looks out of place. Whenever he's on the ball, he's just not. He's not even good enough to pick up the ball from deep and make a run. Like he doesn't have enough individual brilliance to make himself look better, even if he doesn't fit in the system. So it's going to be bad in that front. But the way that we played, man, I feel you have to give a big shout out to Bissouma. A big performance from him yet again. Man,
2 man of the matches, isn't it, in a row?
Yeah, two in a row. Completely changed our team. I feel like he's changed our team completely. I'm only looking forward to Bentancur coming back into this midfield because now then we're gonna have a solid midfield trio. Maddison, just mesmerizing, man. Honestly, like to see a magician.
Mesmerizing, yeah. Do you think I'm gonna ask actually you lad. I'm gonna ask the panel.
If you're gonna ask, he's better than Bruno. Yeah, he's better than Bruno. There's no doubt about that in my mind. 100%. I feel like the way that he picks up the ball from deep, he can play in all phases of the midfield. I feel like Bruno only thrives in the final phase when he can make the final edge cutting pass. But
better than Bruno. Good player. Yeah, better than Bruno.
Nah, he's definitely better than Bruno. All round player. He's better than Bruno. He brings more to the team. He controls the tempo of the game. We saw that yesterday. Once he gets going, he's not a player that just needs to rely on a 1-2-3 pass. Like I feel like with Odegaard, for example, I'm not trying to compare them, but Odegaard's game, you need a 1-2 pass and then pass and move.
Odegaard's a bad boy, Ted. He's better than both of them. He controls them.
Madison's got both of that to his game. He's going to give you a pass and move. He's going to dribble past you. He's going to give you a Cruyff turn. He's got all the different elements to a midfield.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is, George? Do you know what? Yeah. I hear you. I like Maddison, by the way. I'm not even going to go. I like Maddison, but I don't think he's better than Bruno Fernandes because for me, with Maddison, yeah, obviously he specializes in the set pieces. But when I feel like the actual game, like how much is he involved? Even though Bruno didn't get an assist or do anything yesterday, he should have, to be fair. He should have scored. I feel like Bruno's all-round game, like he's always involved in the game. Sometimes Maddison's actually not involved in the game. Like you could have 20 minutes. Like yesterday, when parts of the game, I was actually like, is Maddison not actually on the pitch? Whereas I feel like Bruno is always like, he's just there. Like, he's there. So whether he gets assist or goal, that's because
if Bruno's having a bad game, he's making it known he's having a bad game. So I feel like some players, you need to be able to...
some people go missing when they're having a bad game. He kind of still shows that he's there.
He shows that he's there by making loads of misplaced passes and so on. That's the thing, though. I feel like Maddison, you're not going to get that.
Bro,
Maddison,
he's been at Leicester.
I kind of get what George is saying, yeah, and I get what you're saying as well, Ty. Because the thing about Maddison, yeah, it's like a majority of the time he plays in intervals. Do you get it? Like you have a good half an hour, then he goes missing for a little bit. Then you see him come back again, showing quality, but he goes missing a little bit. So I do get what Ty is saying. Like the game does go past him a little bit at times, but when he's actually on the ball and he's balling, he's a baller. I would say that he's better than Bruno on the ball. But Ty is right when he says that Bruno's a little bit more involved in the game. But I guess it's what you kind of prefer in terms of attributes. Because for me, listen, if I had to pick between the two, I'm probably going to pick Maddison for my team, to be honest. I think he's a little bit more, a little bit more smooth with it, on the ball as well. He can actually hold his own, a little bit more press resistant. But obviously, if you're looking for someone that's going to be hard working, a little bit more effective, then you'd probably be looking at someone like a Bruno. Do you know what I mean? Bruno, he needs to have a little bit more quality around him. He's not that go-to. Maddison's that go-to for the quality, if that makes sense. Like Bruno can find passes, he can create. But in terms of that quality you need on the ball, it's Maddison all day long, man. It's Maddison.
Can we talk? Also, there was also one other player that I needed to mention, and it was
you're gonna say Dogie, innit?
Piggy bank. It was that piggy bank. That piggy bank money mace. They'd like to call him. Yeah. 12 touches. 12 touches. 12 passes. 26 touches. An absolute
85 minutes.
Listen. Let's just say it. Let's just say it is when Onana is spraying balls like that and having more passes completed than Mason Mount. Oh,
wait, Onana had more completed passes.
Onana had more completed passes than Mason Mount. Guys in the comments, if you didn't know that, Onana was balling out in goalkeeper. Might as well stick him DM. Real talk, we might as well stick him DM. Did you see the pass when he come out and switched it to Garnacho?
Oh, when he switched it to Garnacho.
Yeah. That was disgusting.
He ain't doing that. He is not doing that. I'm sorry, yeah. Like I was an advocate for the Mason Mount signing, and I admit it. Like I was like, yeah, do you know what? I get it if he comes in, but I always said this. If Mason, Roms, I'm not joking. If Mason Mount is the only midfield signing at this football club this summer, Ten Hag, you're going to die on your own sword. Bro, I'm saying it now. Ten Hag, you are in trouble because I love Ten Hag. Yeah, I wanted him when he was linked with the job over Poch and stuff like that. But if we're going to give my man 60 million, yeah, and Man United fans in the comments as well, if you disagree, let me know. But if we're going to give my man 60 million to go and get a midfielder, and you come back with Mason Mount, there's issues for me. This guy's not a central midfielder. Like in the whole world can do, and you're picking Mason Mount. Like if you get Mason Mount, yeah, and you say, right, do you know what? We're gonna get Mount to play like 8 and do all that sort of high press and stuff, but we're gonna get an Amrabat or someone else with it who can play sort of a 6. He's controlling on the ball, more volume passing than that. Cool, I'll get it because I take Mount with a bunch. But if you're telling me that, oh, we're gonna make one midfield signing and Mason Mount is gonna solve our problems, we finished 3rd last year, we'll finish 6th this year. I'm calling it. We ain't gonna do the thing this year. Like Ten Hag, you're bald like me. I trimmed my hair for you today, bro. But hey,
listen, Ty, listen. This is why people are getting onto his talent ID, because I can pick out a few other options in the Premier League that we've been watching that are better options than Mason Mount. I can talk about Mateus Nunes. I can talk to you about Morgan Gibbs-White. I can talk to you about Maddison, bro. Do you get it? So what made you go for Mason? Like, obviously he liked him when Mason was at Vitesse and when Ten Hag was at Ajax. But one thing that a lot of Ajax fans used to say about him is that he's stubborn, bro. He's a stubborn manager. Do you get it? So listen, the guy needs to make a change in that midfield. Yeah, even though he hasn't got Amrabat right now, he needs to bring a little bit of balance. And like I was saying to my boy on Wednesday, a few days before the game, I said he needs to start Mason on the wing, right, and bring in like an Eriksen to have a little bit more control. Even Scott, like I know you guys don't like Scott, but at least it offers you a little bit more stability. It might be defensive stability, but it's something to build off of. You know what I mean?
Let me come back to you on that, yeah, and then I'll let Kendall and Hamza come in as well. The reason I disagree with you, it's 2 games into the season, yeah, and I don't disagree with your logic. Like you're saying, play Mount on the wing. Cool, I get it. Some games like you might do that. Or we saw Bruno on the wing last season, should I say? If you're signing Mason Mount, like I said to you, as your main midfielder for 60 million, yeah. We'll play against Wolves. We play shocking. Should have lost that, yeah? 1-1-0. Yesterday, first half was a bit more even. The second half, year 9 versus year 11. Simple as that. If you then, in your 3rd game, or even Arsenal in 2 weeks when we go there, come to me and say, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to play Mason Mount on the wing. Basically, Ten Hag is admitting weakness, because people were saying yesterday, bring Scott McTominay in. And I was like, yeah, do you know what? If I was picking my team, me and Cass agreed with each other on the Soccer Brunch show. Bring McTominay in, physicality, bit more of a natural centre midfielder. But then I was like, Cass, the reason he's not going to do that is if you've just signed a midfielder, right? And then in the first game, it's not worked out. And then you drop Mason Mount or put him on the bench because McTominay's coming in, or you play Mason Mount on the wing. You've basically admitted to your players, yeah, in your dressing room that, okay, I bought Mason Mount for 55 million, but after one game, I'm going away from the plan of what I signed him for. And then what does it do also for Mason Mount?
Don't you feel like... Go on. No, we're finished.
He's got a good point. And because only 2 games in as well.
Mason confidence is then like, okay, I've signed you to play number 8. I've done all this talking at trying to get you for 2 months, but after one game, oh, by the way, you're not cut out to play centre mid. I'm going to move you onto the wing. I just think then, as rivals as well, when you look at it in the team sheet, George, yesterday, if Mason Mount's not there, you're already thinking psychologically, this guy's not even doing what he wanted to do. He's deviated from the plan after the first game. So,
but don't you think
why he's stuck with it?
No, the only thing is, I would say, is that especially at the start of the season, in some of these bigger games where they're more important, it's not the time to be doing, let's test out Mount. Let's try see if Mount's going to fit. It's what you need to do is stick to what Mount knows, play him in the positions that he's actually performed in. And for Chelsea, he was only ever good when he played him on the wing. When they played him on the wing and he needed to pick up a goal or pick up the assist, that's when people saw Mount and they're like, oh, he's a good player. But whenever he played deeper and he was forced to do a bit more in the game, he's forced to pick up the ball and play from deep, he's always shown that he's just not ready for that. And I feel like, especially with Manchester United fans already, they're already saying, we need Amrabat. And when Amrabat comes in, we're looking to play Casemiro, Amrabat, and Bruno in front of him. So Mount is already looking like he could potentially be a player just for the bench.
Bro. There you go. So it doesn't all make sense, George. You don't spend 65 million. And then, like you just said, Man United fans will want Casemiro, Amrabat, and then Bruno in number 10. And then what? Mount's just there, like on the bench.
Mount, to be fair, Mount was good in an 8 when he came, when he first broke through and we had that transfer ban. Because that was the season when we played him in midfield and he was good. But yeah, man, he needs to be further up the pitch. You can't play Mason in a pivot. Like, the guy has no ball retention in those legs, no creativity. You know, he's got no. It's weird, bro. It's weird, man. I look at him and again, grenades. I said this in the group, bro. It's search and destroy midfield, bro. It's a bomb. It's a bomb in that midfield. It's like, who can get rid of the ball the quickest.
Yeah, it's a competition. It is that. And then do you know what it's doing as well? And then I want to see what obviously Lee and Kendall think as well. I get through the super chats. But this is all exposing Casemiro as well. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. He's starting to look like the Brazilian 31. You know when Brazilian players always peak early and that they're looking fresh in that till 28, and then you see them go AC Milan and their career kind of goes a bit downwards. Like I feel like Casemiro is obviously a great signing last year, but the way he's playing with this midfield now, he's basically exposing all of Casemiro's weaknesses, and we're not playing to his strengths at all. And like we're in trouble. I'm going to Gunnar Lee's place in 2 weeks. Oh my Lord. Woo! I'm coming to yours for dinner, Lee, man. I'm coming to yours for dinner. I need something to save me.
You see, right now, yeah, I can't even lie. Lee is rubbing his hands. I was with a bunch of Arsenal fans yesterday, yeah, and they're all salivating, bro. Like they're looking at it like, bro, come and try and play that midfield against us. Like,
it's
bro,
crazy.
That's gonna be
let me get through super chats quickly as well. Big up, Mr. Big Piece. Make sure you smash the like button, people, and subscribe as well. Obviously, we'll be back tonight as well. Our first evening debate with people that are the members as well. So there's going to be three people that are the members coming on tonight. So big up you guys that have been selected. But make sure you like the video, subscribe, people, and subscribe to all the people as well in here down below in the description. Mr. Big Piece says, although I don't rate Mount and Madison, although I don't rate Mount. And Madison is defo better. I don't think he makes a difference in the United team if you switch them around. Okay, fair play, Mr. Big Piece. Okay. Aya Gamid is what says paying my weekly with this great content. Oh, I love that, man. Thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate it. I'm glad that you're enjoying the content that we're doing. Obviously, with the 2 shows a day and everything. Thank you. And then Dav says, calm down, Spurs. Last season started with United in the mud and Spurs getting gassed. Look what happened. What you guys think?
The difference, though, Daz, yeah. Let me just reply back to that, yeah. The difference last season is that Spurs, we could see that it wasn't sustainable. They were picking up results, but it wasn't sustainable. The difference now, though, is that they actually got a style of play. They just need to start giving him the players that he needs. That's the main thing. As long as they have that, Spurs will have a good season. Last season, it wasn't sustainable. Now, I can actually see something sustainable as long as they keep players like Basuma, Madison. I'm hearing Madison went off on crutches or something after the game yesterday.
He did I think it was just a precautionary one, though. It wasn't anything bad, nothing like that. He didn't pick up no injury.
Okay. Spurs have something to build from. Seriously, they've got something to build from.
Yeah, they have. Kendall, I don't know if you're doing that because England are losing or what. Are they losing?
With Spain, I just got a penalty, so yeah.
We will be. You update us. I update the live commentary in that. I don't even know what's going on.
I won't say. I've seen what happened, but yeah.
Oh, I haven't. I'm behind because I started it later, just so I didn't miss anything. But
okay.
Oh my God, she saved it. She saved
huh?
it.
Yeah,
it was a crap penalty. It was a crap penalty anyway.
Yeah,
well
done.
It was 0-0.
1-0.
It's 1-0.
Okay. Yeah, love that. Keep us updated. But yeah, Kendall, I'll come to you. Obviously, with Eric Ten Hag, I'm just going to be direct with you. Do you think he could be in trouble this year?
I'm not in trouble because I think he'll still be given time and stuff at the minute. Like we're only, as we said, like 2 games in. Like we're only 2 games in, and everything can change. But that midfield has no balance. Mount, Bruno, Casemiro midfield, absolutely no balance. I said when Man United signed Mason Mount, he wasn't going to take us to the next level. Like it was just a signing for I can't explain it. It was like a comfortability signing. Like he doesn't massively improve that midfield. And I said this all along, that's why it was a little bit confusing when you guys did sign him. And I just thought it was just a bit weird to spend that much money on a player who doesn't automatically take that midfield up to the next level or take it to the next stage as a team. I just thought it was very, very weird.
Just on that, Kendall, do you think it was more? Do you think it was more of an opportunity because obviously Mason wanted to leave? Do you think that's why they signed him? Because it was more of an open opportunity at the time.
But obviously, as Ty was saying, and it's been relatively reported on widely that he was Eric Ten Hag's #1 target. So I don't know whether it was because of the opportunity that he was, or whether it was because he actually wanted him and then he saw that opportunity. I don't know what the situation was there, but even regardless, I just don't think it was. If you signed him a season ago, fair enough. I would have, or maybe it's when he had that really, really good season. Was it 2021 when he had the really, really, really good season?
Champions League. Yeah.
But I think Ten Hag's in trouble because, as we've said a long time, there's lots of other teams who've really, really improved, and this year in the Premier League, we're going to see a lot of really games won in midfield because there's a lot of decent midfield trios now there who play in the Premier League. So yeah, I just think it's just a bit iffy. If the next game, who have you got next?
Oh, we've got Forest at home. If we don't win,
If you don't,
my.
Yeah. That's
Gibbs,
mad.
you know what though? I'll be real with you. I'm worried about
That's
Gibbs
mad.
White just running through.
Right, man.
Gibbs
Gibbs
White-
White hadn't really like another good game actually. To be fair,
Yeah, like
he
Against
looks really
Sheffield.
strong. He's a good player.
Yeah, he's a
Big
good player. Do you know
baller,
what,
man.
Breezy? That's a great question. I like how you asked that to Kendall because you made me even think like if Mason Mount didn't want to leave, right, and he was just at Chelsea, steady contract, 2-3 more years, would actually United even consider ever going for him? Was it because he was available and wanted to? That's a great way of thinking about it, you know. And like, I'm even going to ask the rest of my United guys after the show in a group chat.
I think it's also the English factor, though. I feel like you guys sort of thought that you were going to be getting rid of the likes of Dean Henderson, Harry Maguire, so you probably needed to bring in another English player into the setup, especially the first team, to keep the quota up.
It's like Liverpool, isn't it? They've got 2 like homegrown places still to fill or something.
Yeah,
I think it's Liverpool, someone like that. Yeah.
They're gonna have to do something. Hamza, this is your time. I'm hanging, like I said. Get on to me. Cook, fry your fish. Do what you want.
Typical. I'd say to our time and big up United supporters. Typical, man. Wearing different shirts when they lose. There's a Juventus shirt. Yeah, already changed your shirt already. There you are, classic United fans. Classic United
It's like
fans.
like you during
No
like you during the World Cup, Hamza.
No
you
loyalty.
just have every single shirt on every
Yeah,
day, a different one.
You see, exactly. This is what I told about. These guys have no loyalty. Listen, Ten Hag has to be called out. Now we're seeing fans at United. They're already split. Some of them already starting to question him, and they're questioning him big time because when you're spending 400 million pounds here in 2 windows, sure. Have a style of play. You have to have a style of play. You have to know how to play. You can't just play on hitting on a counter people and hoof the ball. Rashford hopefully gets it and bring on Nana to hoof those balls and put it on those wings. And there's no classic style of play. Last week they played Wolves, and they were so lucky to win that game. And you saw how United played. They were so poor. The same Wolves team that got thrashed with Brighton. That was thrashed with Brighton. When I said for many weeks, I've been saying since last year, the Brighton manager, is way better than Ten Hag. I'm not being trolling here. I'll be honest, he's way. The guy has lost Caicedo, McAllister. Look what he did to Wolves. He lost Caicedo, McAllister. Let's deep it. He lost Caicedo. His 2 midfielders. And my guy's not still playing. Exactly. People when I say that, they say, "Oh no." You have to give. Ten Hag has been given time. He's been backed 400 million. You have to question his talent ID. Look at Anthony, 85 million to 100 million. What is that guy doing? What's that guy doing? Be honest. Awful. Not a team player. You got a lot of these prima donna players. Everyone is by themselves. The team is not united. You can see a style of player at City. You can see Brighton. You can see even You can see even Spurs. Postecoglou came to Celtic. I said it. Celtic last year, his ops were Hibernian and Kilmarnock. Yeah, he comes here 1-2 games, he's dunking on this guy already. This guy was playing Celtic, Australian manager, and he dunks on this guy. 2 games to go, and he outplayed him. He played well. Postecoglou, I didn't rate him that highly from Celtic. I thought anyone wins that Scottish League, man. What's the name? That guy, Brendan Rodgers, and all these guys have won it there. Yeah, Gordon Strachan. And I thought, but this guy played beautiful football. He lost Harry Kane. See, he lost Harry Kane and he still played beautiful. At one point, there was one point, George, you guys were doing 1-2. Do you remember when Son nearly scored? Bro, you had, I think, 20 touches.
Yeah.
Bro, back heels no one there.
Bissouma put it through Cassie's legs. He put it through Cassie's legs.
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing for United. Like, United fans have to realize, there is definitely, you have to question Ten Hag. Listen, he's going to beat Nottingham Forest. We all know that. But yesterday's statistics, all night, the best team, top 9 teams, he never beat them away. Bro, top 9 teams. Top 9. That's half of the teams in the Premier League. Away, he lost. Bro,
I think we've drawn one and lost 9.
Nearly 50%.
That's pretty much a quarter of the season as well.
50. That's
50%.
50%. Bro, he can't be. That's a joke, man. Well, that's what I'm saying. Ten Hag's talent ID is poor. His style of play is poor. I'm not seeing the same United progressing. The same style of play. You guys criticize Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for counter-attack football, yes or no? You said, we don't like the style of play. Ten Hag will come here. And now, Ten Hag's playing the same counter-attack football for the second season running. You guys, what are you going to say about it? Last season, he said, oh, we're happy with the trophy. Listen, be honest with me, yeah? Last season, the only reason you won Charity Shield, yeah, you had an easy running. I swear you had an easy running to the final.
The run was
Easy running.
I'll be
Easy
honest
running.
with you, yeah,
And
like, I didn't expect us to get top 4 last year, but we got top 4. But if I keep it a buck, you know, I'm a bit more modest. We weren't even that good last year. Like, did we actually play great football last year? We actually didn't. The best football we played was actually in the pre-season when he just came in, and we had like the Rashford, Martial, Sancho front three, which never lasted anyway because obviously Martial's got one leg. So the bottom line is our best football we played was in pre-season last year. We got some results, but the football was not great. And the talent ID thing that you lot are getting on to Ten Hag about, I actually agree with you because obviously the Martinez signing has worked out. Ericsson came in, he was meant to be a squad player, ended up playing more than he should have. He signed Mason Mount now. Obviously, Anthony's out on the wing. He's not cutting it. I'm sorry, I don't like him at all. There's one moment yesterday where I was just like, chuck my remote. I was like, I'm done. We've got Anana who's coming in. Obviously, you can see what he's like as a keeper. But the fact that I even said earlier in the show, I'm not trying to get on Mount. I'm not making this the Mason Mount bash, but the fact that he had more completed passes than Mason Mount just tells you everything about the way we're playing. And like I said, 2 weeks' time, we've got to go to Arsenal Football Club. And Hamza just said it perfectly. Our away record against the top 7, drawn 1 and lost 8 or 9. And now we've got to go to an Arsenal team that, yes, okay, they didn't play their best against Nottingham Forest, but they still won. They still dominated for 70 minutes, and Arsenal are gonna get better. I'm not gonna lie about it. They're gonna get in their groove. And Lee, you must be licking your lips because you're looking at this United team, and like Hamza said, we're not United, bro. Like, I'm on to Ten Hag more now and the team because this is gonna be a long season, I think.
Listen, shout out. Sorry for being late as well.
Yeah, big up for coming through, man.
And listen, hope that England can kind of turn it around. But listen, I can talk about the players. I can talk about the board. The manager needs to hold a lot of this kind of the problems that's going on. I can keep going on about the fact that, and you know what, part of it is the manager, and I'm going to be honest with you, part of it is your fan base. Your first 11. I watched, shout out to George and to Deji yesterday. I watched a little bit of the show last night with Kaz, and shout out to Kaz. But the problem is the fan base. Your first team, Kaz basically insinuated that because if you get Amrabat, that there's some sort of credence for you to be having a better season. Your fan base is deluded. It is absolutely deluded. Bruno Fernandes yesterday, I'm sorry, for him to be your captain, it says more about the manager and more about your team than anything and anyone else. I'm really, really sorry, but Bruno Fernandes, his performances in the last 2 games, even at the end of last season, he's horrible. He is a horrible, horrible football player. And if he's the standard of anything to do with your club, then that's an indictment of your club. And you look at the performance yesterday. I'm not going to go on about Rashford because he's not a striker.
Yeah, he's not a number 9.
I'm not going to go in. I'm not going to go in at Casemiro because there's something going on in your midfield. But I am going to go in at the likes of Bruno Fernandes, who there should be more. I am going to go in at Anthony, who I'm asking for more. And yes, I'm not going to go into the price tag too much, but I'm just asking, can I do a little bit more? And listen, I'm going to be real. I don't even think Spurs were that great. I really don't. I think Spurs
I agree.
I'm sorry. I look at that midfield. I don't think they were amazing. I saw more from Newcastle against Man City, who I don't even think played well at all, to think, you know what? They'll have a better season than Spurs for sure. They'll have a better season than United for sure. I'll be real. And that's not me hating. That's not me hating. That's just from what I've seen over the last 2 games. But look, ultimately, I'm just looking at your squad and I'm looking at it and I'm saying there aren't enough goals. I don't trust that team to stick together. I don't see if there's a bad period that anyone's going to really back each other. I saw Rashford come off, stamping his feet on the ground. And I'm like, the players you brought on, Jadon Sancho, is it really something to shout home about? Is Pelestri, is it really to shut? Like, so this whole Højlund thing, when he's going to come back, is he going to do enough for you to bridge that gap to go, all right, well, we're not gonna have a title challenge, clearly not, but are we gonna solidify top 4 or top 5? I don't.
Hasn't Cass been saying that he's gonna get 15 goals or something mad? He said that as well.
But this is my point. This is my point. It's partly the manager and it's partly the fans. I'm sorry. But
what do you? Okay, like Lee, let me ask you.
Because I'm gonna be real. Because if I wanted to, I could talk about the fact that Lisandro Martinez is bog standard, mate. But Man United fans put him on this pedigree just the same way how it's too much. It's too much. Yeah, I could talk about Luke Shaw. I can talk about Wan-Bissaka, who, yes, defensively looks good, but going forward leaves a lot to be desired. I can keep going on the likes of, yes, Rashford is good, but he's a real purple patch player. How many more things do you want me to talk about with your squad? But all Man United fans are going to keep talking about, oh, yeah, we won a trophy. We finished third. That's all you throw. But when I'm asking, what is your style of play? What is your patterns? What is this? What is that? There's nothing. And all I'm asking is, look, you're in your second season, so I'm not going to go too crazy because everyone's going to say, oh, but Arteta
I had this time. Yeah.
You've accelerated just the same way how Chelsea have. And I've done the same thing with Don. You've accelerated what your expectations are with the amount of money you spent. So with that, I'm expecting a better style of play. I'm expecting more goals. I'm expecting more patterns of play. I'm expecting more because you've spent more. So you're pushing forward where your expectations were from one to the other point. And for me, look, I'll be honest with you. As I said, my main issue I can talk about, as I said, many players, the manager, and I think Bruno Fernandes is an indictment of your squad. But him making him the captain and having him playing game in, game out and relying on him.
Yeah, that's what I don't like. One captain, and you know that they're basically going to play 90 minutes. They're going to play all the time. I can hear you with the Bruno Fernandes thing, and I think it don't epitomize everything of a Manchester United fan what we want to see. But I agree with you. Our fan base, like, we're a bit up and down. I think we're very. I admit we're very like cracked. We're fractured, man. We are fracturedly. Like, some people expect this, some people expect that. Obviously, you're getting some fans now that are turning on Ten Hag. I'm not saying that they can't turn on him. There's a difference, by the way. There's like turning on Ten Hag and saying Ten Hag out, which is a bit silly, or just criticizing like what you're saying. You can criticize. Like, I love Ten Hag, but I'm criticizing him now because, like you guys said, the talent ID, also the stubbornness sometimes in his ways, and I don't think that sometimes that actually plays in his advantage, and he's going to learn the hard way. And what I just see with Ten Hag right now is if we don't get another midfielder in, I'm not saying it solves all our problems, but it makes us more balanced and maybe a bit robust. But like, this guy is going to be the downfall of himself. I feel like with Ollie and stuff, you can see that like the football was never going to be there with him, but he was more keep the mental ship of the players good and then just let them go out there and enjoy themselves and just hopefully the results will come. I look at Ten Hag and he's a coach, and I actually like think, okay, we've actually got a proper manager here, but yes, the style of play and everything isn't there. However, you're paid to solve problems. Right now, you have got a problem, Ten Hag. We can't keep the ball for 2 seconds. We're not getting results. We're not scoring goals. Even okay, we got a result against Wolves, but the preseason was poor as well. At the end of the day, you're paid big bucks to solve problems, and we've got a midfield problem. Look at Pep last year. Just quickly. When Cancelo left Man City last year, and Pep and everyone was like, and people were like, oh, Pep's setting up one of the best wing backs go. He solved it by putting John Stones into this sort of central midfield role, and then they started dominating the ball. They won the treble, and they found a way to cure the problem. Ten Hag's got to find a way, but I don't know. I don't know if he can.
But can I ask you though, Ty? Can I ask you a question? Like, honestly, why does everybody keep making out that Ten Hag's so good? He was in the
Ajax. It's the Ajax.
What is the difference between the ratings or the low ratings for Ange and the high ratings for the likes of Ten Hag?
That's what I was just going. I want to highlight
they're both in the same kind of position in terms of both expected to do really well in their leagues. They both have the most money in their leagues, and they both have won, yes, dominating their leagues, but let's be honest, there isn't much of a sort of competition in that league or any threat in that league. And yes, when we talk about the Champions League, he got to the semi-final. Can we talk about what happened in that semi-final and where he actually bottled that situation? The same like Arteta bottled. Can we talk about that? So when I look at it, I've been getting onto Kaz since last season. I'm not giving Ten Hag no props. He needs to come here and do it. And my only other thing is, when people compare Ten Hag to Arteta, fine. If that's what you want to do. But my whole thing I keep saying is, why are people going on like Ten Hag has been a manager for 1 year? He's been winning, and now you're putting him in the same bracket as Arteta.
He's been a manager since Arteta was a player.
You can't exactly.
Arteta was been playing like 10 years ago. Ten Hag's going to manage that. There's really no talk that we can do about this. And what I did want to say as well, what is very worrying, and Man United fans should really be looking at, is Ten Hag's 9 players into this project. I'm right. It's 9 players in.
8, 9, yeah.
How can you be 9 players in and still not have the right players for your system, still not be able to play your style of football? That's pretty much a whole squad of players you brought in, a whole team of first 11, and you don't have the right players to play your system. It doesn't make any sense. I feel like we Tottenham, we've only signed 3 first-team players, and Andrew's already showed the progression from a completely defensive style of football to the most attacking way that you can play. And he's shown that this team, whether the players are there or not, he's worked with what he's got and he's used the attributes of the players he got to make something happen and show progression. Ten Hag's not showing that progression in your team.
And you know what? And people are saying, even in my group chat, George, people are saying, if we had the money, could we have made a better squad or made us have a team that could be better than what we are right now? And most of us said, yeah. So the truth is, Ten Hag has had the money to get the signings. I'm not getting onto the Glazers doing all that crap. And the bottom line is, he still bought players.
That's the thing. You've had money. My thing is, okay, look, let's be honest. Man United, for the amount of money you make, you're not spending in comparison. So let's give you that. But you've still had enough money to say, do you know what? All right, cool. I want to only get 3 players. I've got 250 million pounds. I only want to spend a certain amount of money because I want to get quality. So when you go out and spend 60 million pounds or 55 million pounds on the likes of Mount, there's an issue there because there are so many other players you could have got. So I'll go to the same thing for Arsenal and Arteta. Arteta, what I like about him is people didn't rate the likes of Ramsdale. People didn't rate the likes of Ben White. After the first game against Brentford, people killed him. But look how he's turned out. He's amazing. Look at the fact that we've got Gabriel, Magalhaes, Zinchenko, all of these players who people didn't think that were going to be good enough. He's made them into at least something reputable where we can actually now look like we're going to challenge or do something. Okay, Havertz, again, the jury's out for him, but he may have a plan, yes or no, I don't know. But when I look at Ten Hag, there's nothing that I see with him that makes him look even reputable. He finished 3rd, but listen, man, like, people are going to keep saying Arteta's a serial failure. Arteta this, Arteta that. Listen, let's see. Like, as I said, I can actually see, at least for me, there's something reputable. I can actually say that there's something happy that I can move forward with, because I believe that Arsenal are on a right track, a trajectory of dominance or some sort of
no one can doubt
relevance, some sort of relevance in the league. Yes, we finished 8th and finished 5th, but there's something where I can say, do you know what? This season, next season, it's looking a lot better. We can go in and we can actually really challenge. I don't see that for Man United. I really don't. I don't see any sort of control in the league where, do you know what? They look like I go into games now. I actually genuinely go into.
You know how you're going to play.
We're going to play, and I feel like, you know what? People are looking at tomorrow's game against Crystal Palace. I'm thinking, right? Do you know what? It's a tough game. It is, but I'm calm. I feel like we.
Yeah, you think you can rock there and win?
And this is the thing. This is the thing, though. Like last season, I was saying the same thing about Ten Hag. Like I rate Ten Hag, and obviously Chelsea were in the mud last season. We had Potter, and I was jealous. I was like, listen, I would have taken Ten Hag. This is a manager that I rate. Do you get what I'm saying? But I criticized him with the in-game management. I criticized him with some of the lineups that he was putting out. I remember, there was a certain period last year where United had a lot of games and he kept persisting with the same players, players. And I was saying at the time, someone is going to get injured, bro. You need to actually use.
And then Eriksen done it in the FA Cup or something. Yeah.
Yep, Eriksen got injured. I remember Marcus got injured as well. He was out towards the end of the season. And one thing I kept saying as well is, listen, right now you lot are winning games, but I'm watching you guys and you're not convincing me. Shout out my boy Lopes. Lopes was telling me teams fear United now. And I was like, are you actually being serious, bro? I said, Arsenal fans right now have every right to say teams fear them now, because they've actually got some tangible evidence to show that they're playing really well, picking up results. So they're getting that performance as well as results. United, bro, I was just seeing, mediocre performances and Rashford turning up majority of the time. And I said, it's not going to be sustainable. Obviously, his season was a bit mad because he scored a lot of goals, but you can see towards the end it kind of dried out a little bit.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And you guys kind of
the
fell off.
funny thing is, Rashford started this season poor, and like he's played up front twice, number 9. He can't play there. He's not a natural left winger like a Matoma or something like that. But he has to play on the left because that's the way we can just get the best out of him. But I agree with you, we didn't play well last year, and Rashford got us out of trouble with a lot of goals. At the moment, we started the season poorly, but on top of that, Rashford actually isn't getting us out of jail with a lot of the goals. So it is crazy, man. Guys, make sure you like the video. There's over 1,300 in here right now, so please make sure you're supporting the channel wherever you're watching around the world. We do appreciate it. It helps us reach a massive audience and stretch us further if you do like the video. So just cross off the live chat if you need to, hit the thumbs up, and help us obviously grow as well. Big up Lee, Hamza, every single time, Kendall, Greasy, and George in here as well. Their channels are down below as well, so make sure you go and subscribe to them, man. Come on, it costs nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like when you walk in your house, you take your shoes off. When you come into the stream, hit the like button and subscribe to the people here, man, and make sure you show love. Big up Mr. Big PC Sauce says, no guarantees we beat United. Shouldn't be too giddy. Okay, he's an Arsenal fan. Definitely going to be a big one, that one, when that comes in a couple of weeks, just before international break. Rodri, 119 accurate passes yesterday. Mount, 15. Yeah, I know. It is crazy. But let's see what Ten Hag does next week, because people are on him now. We're questioning some of the stuff, and we've got to beat Nottingham Forest next week. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing that we've got Forest, because it's like we have to win that, so it's an easy game. But if
I want
you
to
you might get a bit of a bad.
A lot of rivals. I want you to now I've realized, like, I want you to keep Ten Hag. Like, I feel that if you get rid of Ten Hag, you're coming for De Zerbi. I swear. De
Zerbi's a bad boy. We'll never come to Man City.
He's very, very good.
I think he's waiting for that City job. I think he's going to wait for that.
Yeah, De Zerbi's made for City.
Yeah, he played for Udinese, I think. But listen, he's a top manager. The way he's played with Pascal Gross and Billy Gilmore, went to Wolves away and made them look nothing. And last season in the FA Cup semi-final, they outplayed you, know. They had you guys up. People were excited, like, you know, I said, De Zerbi was dead. And even against Arteta, Emirates, he came to Emirates and he dunked on that. I believe he's better than Arteta. I believe he's better than Ten Hag. But
would you take it? I know we're not talking about
Caicedo was man of the match in both of those games, by the way. I remember at the Emirates right back, he was man of the match. And in that semi-final against United, he bossed them as well.
Yeah,
would De Zerbi be your first choice, Hamza, when Pep eventually leaves?
He's someone that we might need to look at. He's someone that we might very closely need to look at. We have to speak to Pep, whether Pep basically extends his contract. But if he doesn't, we have to be very careful, because any other big team might come for him. And he knows De Zerbi, if he gets offered at City, there's stability. There's good support.
I swear Pep got a new contract, though. Pep got a new contract recently, didn't he?
Huh?
Yeah, didn't Pep sign a new contract? Pep signed a new contract.
He's got 2 years left, I think.
You got enough time. You got enough time there, man. You got time.
Let's talk of Man City, Hamza, actually, because obviously, big up everyone that's watching. Like I said, keep liking the video. But Julian Alvarez rises for Man City. It's simple as that. I've been questioning you lot, and not questioning you lot because I don't think you're good enough. I know that Man City are good enough, and I know that you're obviously the treble winners. But with KDB out, and then it was Gundogan obviously leaving the club, Mahrez leaving the club. Me and Cass and Mo were basically speaking on quite a few shows about where your other goals going to come from. Who's going to step up for Man City this year? Grealish is not really a goal scorer. Alvarez can be a goal scorer. You've got Phil Foden, who's going to play sort of in the number 8 role. Even though I love Phil Foden, I think he's a brilliant player. How he's going to cope going into the number 8 role with no KDB to learn from? Is there pressure on him? But yesterday, another solid clean sheet. Your defense is rising like it did last year at the back end. And then you've got Alvarez, who is the person that might step up and, you know, get the goals when Haaland ain't scoring. But that was a great strike, man. What were you saying about that win yesterday? Like, do you think that win actually is more important than people think? Because obviously it's against a tough Newcastle team. You're keeping a clean sheet, and people, I'm not saying they're doubting you, but people are raising questions to sort of doubt City, if that makes sense.
Yeah, listen, there's no doubt about it. Like the thing that is so important with us is the manager. Pep he's so special. Like, he can work with a squad that you doubt, and he still raises them up. This is a manager that played Fabian Delph left back and they got 100 points. This guy is a top the greatest manager, I believe. Yeah, he knows how to motivate. He will never accept failure. We have to accept that. You think Pep will accept to come second this season? No. He's always won. He's always, like, I think he's finished second twice or 3 times in his career. And both 3 times, yeah, he's been upset. You can see the way, the style of play, the way he motivates. He's always hungry. He's always on the touchline. He's screaming. He wants to win. Yes, we've lost KDB. Football is a team sport. Football is a team sport. I don't care. I don't rely on one player. I know how KDB is so important for us. But football, I expect Foden to rise. We expect people like Bernardo to rise. Rodri has risen. We expect Kovacic yesterday, outstanding. Where was Kovacic? Never played like that for Chelsea. Chelsea fans were thinking, oh my God, we sold him for 25 million. Can we get him?
No, he has, man. I don't know where this narrative comes from.
He's underrated.
Covers definitely had performances like that for us, but the problem is his end product and his injury record.
He was brilliant. Listen, he will improve under Pep. He will play his best. Basically, he wasted his years. You will see the real Kovacic at Man City. He will play with better players, more confident players. Him and Rodri in midfield, absolutely impeccable. People are saying losing Gundogan. We've lost Gundogan. We've lost Mahrez. We've lost KDB. This is a particular chance for Arsenal to win the league. That failure for them to not win the league is a sackable Arteta's offense. He has to be sacked. I was watching Arteta. I was like, yo.
What? If if Arteta doesn't win the league, you'd sack him.
100%. Unless you've got low class mentality that you believe coming second is a success, and you think you're a big club that because you finish second, it's okay. If you're real passionate and really understand football and you want to win, you have to come out and say, yo, Arteta, thank you very much. You spent 700 million and you cannot take advantage when their best player was injured, when they lost their second best player and got rid of one of their most dangerous winger to buy wingers who are youngsters like Doku, probably going to sign Doku, with an underwhelming squad who are tired. If Arteta does not take advantage this season,
he's spitting.
100%. He's the number one.
I'm letting Lee come back to this. I'm not an Arsenal.
He's the number one guy that we're gonna hold responsible. I swear. I'm
even me. I'm hoping Chelsea can take a little satin.
Blood in his hands.
I got to leave with satin.
What are you agreeing with him then, Greasy? That if Arteta don't win the league, you'd sack him,
bro? No. I'm not agreeing with that. I'm just saying that this is a good season to take an opportunity out of Man City. I'm not saying to sack him.
It's the best and only. This is the worst it will be, and they're not even bad. This is the chance for Arsenal. No, it is. I agree with you, Hamza, in terms of like vulnerability. This is the best chance Arsenal will get. I don't think they get a better chance next year or the year after. Because I think City are just not on a rebuild, but they're kind of in that little mini transition where they're just going to get better again next season. But Lee, we saying back to that about if Arteta don't win the league, he's sack him like raw.
Bro, listen, man. Sometimes not everything deserves a reaction, man. So
there we go. Smooth.
I leave it for him, man. I'll be honest, bro. You're chatting a bag of shit, but I don't want to say too much this Sunday, bro. But listen, as long as we don't, falter to the line and we're 10 points behind. Listen, part of the league is Man City have to lose games, so I can't just bank on the fact that Man City are gonna just drop every point in every game. They showed yesterday clearly that they can continue to keep winning without having KDB. Now, listen, yes, is it a good chance to win it because they don't have 3 players that they lost from last season? 110%. Do I think Arsenal are going to win the league? Yeah, I do. 100%.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do, but it's not a failure to the point where he needs to be sacked if we don't win the league, because I also have to see Man City drop off. Everybody's putting it on them that they're going to do poorly, but I've seen them in 3 games so far, and in those 3 games, they've had 1 really poor game, and yesterday they looked right against a very, very good team in Newcastle. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, it's going to be the easiest thing to walk the league. And there are more teams spending loads of money, so it's not going to be as easy to just walk the league. So yes, I'm expecting Arsenal to do well. Yes, I'm expecting Arsenal to put up a really good fight. And yes, I think that we can win, but I'm actually saying, firstly, De Bruyne's not out for the season. He's out for a couple of months. It's not that he's out forever and he's never going to come back. Yeah, he's out for a period of time. So until December, January. So when he does come back, that will only put them in a better position. So yes, I'm explaining that Arsenal should do well and should get a point to a point where we can win the league. But Man City have to drop points. It's not just Arsenal. Just if Arsenal win throughout.
Look at the bench. No,
Hamza. That's the point I was going to make. Let me wait. Hold on, Hamza.
Just 1 second, Hamza. If you win every single game from now to December, what is it that Arsenal can do to change the point where Arsenal are going to win the league? Because
don't
if you
think
keep
we'll win
winning,
every game.
no,
I
no, no,
don't think
I'm
we'll
asking,
win-
no, listen, I'm a school teacher. Yeah, this is called conversation. If you win every single game, what is it that Arsenal are meant to do about winning the league?
You just need to win all your games as well.
Okay,
To
so
make
exactly.
it-
So you're proving my point. So it's
Yeah.
not just Arsenal having to win; it's that Man City have to fall off. Everybody, if you ask Daps isn't worried because why? Because he's got Pep and he's got a good team. He's got a good squad or a good 12, 14 players. So all I'm saying is, it's not just about Arsenal winning. We have to actually see Man City drop off. We're only prophesizing that Man City are going to fall off because they've lost those 3 players. It's not just about that. It's
But Lee,
about Man City having to actually do that to see it.
Yeah, Lee,
And
I
you
get
know-
what you're, I
Go on,
get what you're
go on,
saying,
go on.
Lee. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Lee. Yeah, but from an Arsenal point of view, you have to kind of look at it a little bit differently. And I understand what Hams is saying, that it's a good opportunity for you guys to win the league this season. Yeah, because if you look at Arsenal, you've added to what you already had. Man City are having to replace, so there's a big difference. Do you get
It's
it?
a
Because
big
right now,
difference,
like Hamza said, yeah, if you look at their bench, it's full of academy players. I'm not saying that Man City haven't got a chance, because I think that they have the know-how, they've got the manager, they've got the experience to win. I'm not saying that Man City are done for, but what I'm saying right now is Arsenal have added to what they had rather than subtracting and replacing. Man City have lost Gundogan, who we know that if KDB is not there, you can look at him and he's clutch, bro. In big moments, always stepping up for them in multiple seasons.
Mahrez.
Whether that's his leadership, whether that's his goals, whether that's his assists, whether that's just controlling the game without getting GNA, that's a big miss. Mahrez, how many times has this guy come on and got multiple assists or gets goals? That's another player that they've
Our
lost out
most
on.
important player. Our most
that-
important. Listen.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying from Arsenal's point of view, bro. Right now, listen, Arsenal fans, stop running from it. You lot have added to the quality that you've got.
No one's run from it.
No, I'm not saying you.
Every
I'm
Arsenal
saying
fan,
you have to look at it from that point of view.
Every Arsenal fan thinks that Arsenal should put up a challenge and hopefully win the league. But it is not a given. You can't just buy players and just expect, because if that is the case, then Chelsea need to win the league. So that's my point I'm trying to explain.
No.
It isn't just the fact that of longevity of manager. It isn't just the fact that, you spend a lot of money. We are going against a juggernaut who is Man City. And what we need to do is we need to see Man City actually fall off before we put ourselves in a position that we have to win. So yes, I'm explaining. So you can stop going on. You can stop going on at Arsenal and me saying, "Oh, Arsenal must do this. Arsenal must do this." Arsenal, yes, they should do well. Yes, Arsenal should win games. Yes, Arsenal should put up a fight and have a clear advantage. But it's not just.
Imagine Arsenal lost. Listen.
Okay, hold on. This is stupid. It's stupid. No one here put Arsenal to win the league, and now all of a sudden, because
Arsenal
KDB's
lost
out,
Odegaard, Arsenal lost Saka. If Arsenal lost Odegaard, that's KDB. Arsenal's lost Saka, let's say on the wing. Yeah, that's enough for me to think. Forget that. I'm winning the league by February, January.
Okay, so Hamza, I've explained this. I've explained this to you already. I've explained this to you, but your point is invalid. It's outdated. It's outdated because ultimately you have to lose for Arsenal to have a gap.
It's going to be difficult this season. This is going to be very difficult.
Oh my God.
I've said it to my fan base here. I look at my bench. I was depressed. Pep did not even make a substitution. Pep did not even make a sub after we played on Wednesday, guys. No.
Okay, Hamza, let me ask you something, right? Because you basically, to start this convo, yeah, big up everyone that's watching, by the way. Please make sure you keep smashing the likes, because the likes are not as high as I'd want them to be. And look at the debate we're having right now. So please just make sure you hit that like button for us, people. You said, yeah, to start this convo open, you said, if Arsenal don't win the league, Arteta should be sacked. That's what you said, Hamza, yeah? So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to flip it. If you're saying that Arsenal should sack him if we don't win the league, you're basically admitting that you're not confident in your own team, Manchester City, winning the league. Whereas Daps, for example, believes in his manager, like Lee said, and they've won the treble, and they've still got a good 13, 14 players, and they still might add to the window in the next couple of weeks. But the way you're speaking to Lee that they should sack Arteta if they don't win the league, you're basically admitting that, one, in a way, you don't probably believe in your manager doing the business, and you don't believe in your team. That's basically what you're admitting, bro.
Listen, I think this is the weakest City side ever. This is the weakest City side, like for a long time, other than the season that we had, that we flopped, that we did not sign company. Yeah, was a completely weak City side. Like, we've lost KDB. Losing Gundogan was a big blow. Like, now I have to get Kovacic to learn how to play our style. yeah, then lose my most important player, then lose another winger. And remember last season,
You know what this sounds like? Can I just
remember
stop you?
last
You know what this
season,
sounds like is
remember last
excuses.
season,
It sounds
and
like
the rivals
excuses.
who are
So when you clip this up,
the
can you make
rivals who
sure
are chasing us
when
for
you
the
clip this up,
title,
just
will
make
just
sure
spend another.
this tab is just Hamza's excuses, because that's all it sounds like.
No,
If
no,
they
I'm not
lose the
making
league,
excuses.
that's all it sounds like. Just stop talking shit, man.
No, no,
Fucking
one
hell,
second.
move
You-
on to the
Nah,
next.
Lee, I can't lie. It's not an excuse
I'm
though,
just
bro.
saying.
You can't
I'm not
overlook
saying-
them losing Gundogan. It's not an excuse,
No,
bro.
but
It's not.
Lose
listen,
Gundogan
as
for
I've-
Jamal is
as I've
massive
said,
for any club.
nobody said that losing players isn't a big problem. I've explained this, but I'm also saying Man City and Pep have the money, they have the best manager, they have all the resources to
But we
try and
don't have
find
the
new
enough-
ways and new avenues to win the league. So if they continue to win, if they beat Chelsea, if they beat Arsenal somehow, home and away, or when we played them, I think in October, then you can't just keep going off with the whole fact that because they believe in their city's fans' eyes that they've fallen off, that it's going to happen, because Pep can find a new way. They've got a guy who scored 56 goals last season, so they can find a way. They've got this guy coming on who's Cole Palmer, who might be who we don't know yet. And all I'm saying is no 2 seasons are the same. So last season we had a good season. Nobody's saying that it's going to happen this season. And yes, I'm putting all the pressure on Arteta because he must do well, but I'm not sitting here saying that Man City have just fallen off a cliff, because they clearly showed that they can still do that. And as I've said, if you're going off money, then it's not Arsenal that should be winning the league. It's not Arsenal.
Hamza. I think the point that Lee's making, yeah, is that obviously we're only 2 games in. He needs to actually see Man City taking that drop off a little bit more in the season for him to start to believe if Arsenal can pounce on it. Only because of Man City's record and who they've got as the manager.
They've won it
I think that's the
row.
I think that's the point Lee's making.
They've won it 3 times in a row. You can't just sit here and think, oh, well, yeah, all of a sudden, all of that's gone. You have to be balanced. Be a little bit more balanced. Say, look, yes, Arsenal, they should do. But to be saying that the man should be sacked and this and that, come on, man, that's just...
Yeah.
You've still got a solid 11, like, and you've got probably the best defense in the league, bro, on paper.
The defense.
Listen, he's been back this season. I think Arteta's been back this season. I'm just saying, Arteta's been back this season. There's no, like, literally, Arsenal has spent more money than, I'll forget Chelsea, Madrid, Barcelona.
Forget Chelsea. Imagine. Forget Chelsea.
Man City. I'm looking at my team. And I'm thinking, I looked at my bench. I said to City fans, we need to sign Pep. The fact that Pep did not bring anyone on whilst we're playing Newcastle was already a red flag. He knows they scored last season. We were working with a tight squad, bro. We were working with 15-man squad. These guys are the only club. Yeah, forget Chelsea. I'm removing Chelsea out of this. Yeah, forget Chelsea League. Yeah, other club that have gone and spent in January and have spent summer. And what annoys me, fact, they've lost Timber, but they still want to make extra signing. Bro, they've made 250 million signing. And we've won the treble. I've made 25 million and Vadio. When I needed players like clutch players, I needed Paqueta, now it's fallen through. Apparently, I'm getting Doku, who's a Mahrez replacement. So he's a youngster. Is he proven? He's a youngster.
Hamza, the thing is, yeah, what you're saying, bro, what you're saying isn't wrong, because Lee isn't running away from the pressure on Arsenal right now. Lee expects Arsenal to compete, and Lee expects Arsenal to go all the way. He's not. That's not a dispute, yeah. And what you're saying is right. There should be pressure on Arsenal because of the money that they've spent and how long that Arteta's been at the club. But what Lee's doing right now is showing respect to Man City and being realistic and saying, do you know what? Every year we get this from Man City. Yes, they're losing out on these big players. They always find a way. So for me to actually change my opinion, I need to see it actually happen first, rather than just saying, "Oh, you've lost Gundogan, it's gonna fall off from here." Because that's what you're trying to say. You're trying to say that's what it sounds like. You're trying to say, like, "Oh, because we've lost Gundogan, and our bench is weak."
Weaker than last year.
And yeah, you are weaker. But Lee needs to see it first, is what he's saying.
Are you worried about? Do you think you win the league right now, Hamza? Yes or no? I don't want to hear no
I was worried. I've never been worried that second game of the season I showed against Newcastle 1-0. Newcastle, great side. Newcastle, a very great side.
The window's not shut though, man.
Yeah, the window's not shut as well.
Exactly.
And I think
it's hard to find.
You kept
it's
a
hard
clean
to
sheet
find
as well.
Top players. It's very hard to find top players. We have to find the right players, then to try and integrate them. We hope that if we do sign Doku becomes a fantastic player within the squad, and Pep improves him. And that's what I say. Pep is the reason. Pep Pep Guardiola.
Hamza, let me ask you a question. Now that you're not getting Lucas Paqueta, who would you want to bring in as that replacement? Because Cover's not that guy. Like,
listen, ideally, if I had to go, I've always said from last year, I said Danny Olmo is a fantastic player, young, hardworking, versatile, right? And no one knows his position, so he's dangerous. Those players, I love those kind of players. You don't know where they are. Right wing mid, he can attack. I love
high technical ability as well.
He's got apparently he's got 47 million pound release clause next year, but this year they might sell him for 68 million, 70 million. Another guy is for Mohamed Kudus. He might be good. We just need an addition because our squad are looking tired. We're picking up injuries. Yesterday you can see only the like of Ake was there. The rest you did not know. Oscar Bob, Jason McAtee, Cole Palmer, Rico Lewis. These guys are 18, 19 years old. When you look at Arsenal's bench, it's a joke, man. I'm looking Trossard. I see. What's that? Jorginho. If Partey gets injured, Declan Rice can play there. If Declan Rice gets injured, Jorginho can play. Rodri gets injured, who plays there? Yeah, there you are.
Listen, I said it in a group. I said it in a group yesterday. I think Man City should be looking at Morgan Gibbs-White. I don't understand why he's so slept on, man. This guy is a good player, man. Like if you're looking for someone that can create, and offer you that work off the ball, he's your man. The guy got 8 assists last season, more than Bernardo and Foden in a relegation side. You know, they only stayed up because of their home record. Really, he created over 50 chances last season as well. And on the ball, he's got that flair. He's got a little bit of magic. He's got a little bit of something about him in it. So if you're looking at someone a little bit more shrewd, I'll be looking at Gibbs-White. I'll happily take him at Chelsea.
I think the thing is, though, and I'll come to Kendall actually after this, but I think with Gibbs-White, as much as I rate him, I don't know if he could elevate straight to Man City level. But also, what it is with transfers as well, Greasy, is that these teams like Nottingham Forest and stuff like that can start charging mad money now. So Morgan Gibbs-White for me is probably Forest's best player in terms of they can get a big fee for. So it wouldn't even surprise him. Nottingham Forest are like, right, if teams want him, 70 million, because what he means to them
be
is
more,
so
bro.
important.
And they paid loads for him as well, though, didn't they?
They paid like 45 million for him. Do you know what I'm saying? So they got 45 million. He's actually playing better than what he did at Wolves. They could ask for 70 million because what he's worth to Nottingham Forest. But Kendall, obviously, you watched the game yesterday. A lot of people were saying that, you know, City, this is the right time to catch them. It wasn't, because obviously Alvarez scored a great goal. They got another clean sheet. They showed that they're serious and they can still win. But were you happy with Newcastle? I don't think you could take a lot of weaknesses out of it because you only lost 1-0 to the treble winners. Yeah. Obviously, you got a lot to fight for this season. But yeah, what was your take on it from a Newcastle standpoint?
I was just really disappointed yesterday. Not that I thought we should have won or anything, but I just was disappointed in us.
You could have showed better.
Yeah. I was really, really disappointed in us. Like, genuinely very disappointed. I think we definitely could have took the game to them more. Like, they didn't really even have to get out of second gear, to be fair, yesterday. And we were just so lackluster. We were so pedestrian in the first half. I was honestly like, I was shook to the core. We showed them far too much respect. I know they're the best team in the world. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's more like from my point of view, not a City point of view. It's like more from us and what we could have done as a team, because the performance yesterday, second half was a lot better, but the first half and the performance against Aston Villa was like watching two different teams. So watching but it was the same team. So it was just a bit, obviously, the midfield yesterday completely nullified us. Joe Linton was off the pace. Bruno was off the pace. Miguel Almiron's just like a headless chicken at times, and it just absolutely winds me up something rotten. Like I just cannot stand it. Isak was so isolated yesterday. Like Gordon fluffed a few really decent passes in front of goal. Like it was just all round not good from us really. And I just defensively yesterday, I thought we were good. I thought Sean Botman were our two best players yesterday, really. But yeah, it just was. Dan Burn was like 15 minutes behind the play every single time, which is not much of a shock, really. But I don't want to be too nasty because it's like this gauges our level because we have progressed. Like, do you know what I mean? So I can see why. And City are a better team than us, even there when they've got players missing. They are a better team than us. That's just how they are. And I wasn't necessarily like thinking we were going to go into the game and win yesterday. I did back us and I thought we would definitely play better than we did yesterday. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm not going to be too bad because it wasn't a pasting. It was 1-0. The second half was a lot better and we showed a lot of improvement, but it's just like I was disappointed in how we approached that game yesterday. And I think Eddie Howe was as well, because in his post-match he said it just wasn't good enough, really. Like he was disappointed in how we went there. So
do you think it's the right time? Do you think the fact that responding against? Oh, God, Greasy, one sec. Sorry, but do you want to go?
Go on, bro. Go on now. Go on, land.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, do you think
Yep.
it's perfect timing that you're playing Liverpool next week, home game? Do you think like it's a perfect way to respond against them basically? Because I think you can give them a rude awakening, you know.
Yeah,
Yes,
100%. I think like next week we have to win. I said our first 4 fixtures because they were like probably the most difficult 4 fixtures in the league. So like, well, we were based on where everyone finished last season. So we obviously had Aston Villa, Man City, Liverpool, Brighton. They're our first 4 fixtures. I said if we win the 2 home games, I'm okay. I'm happy with that for the first 4, and because then we've got a pretty decent run in after that. Well, is any running decent in the Premier League? I don't know, but we've got like a better run in after that. So I think as long as we win our first 2 games, but I do think we can beat Liverpool next week. But again, it's annoying because City and Liverpool are our 2 bogey teams. We just cannot, for some reason, we can't beat them, and we've got them back to back. So next week, I don't know. We have to win. We have to beat Liverpool next week because they are looking mid. Their defense is looking mid. Like everything about them. So this is again. The problem is though, when everyone backs us, man, we frigging lose. Like yesterday, I'm sick. People just need to stop believing now because.
See, Kendall, like listen, Newcastle obviously have a lot of quality, but what I was seeing yesterday was a mentality problem. Do you know what I mean? Your players looked like they were nervous. They looked like they gave Man City a little bit more respect, and they didn't believe in their ability. Because on their day, Newcastle can give anyone a game. Do you get what I'm saying? And like you said, you're pissed off that you lost that final to Man United. Do you get it? But because the mentality was a problem yesterday, how are you feeling that Newcastle will actually go into like the Champions League games? Because mentality is a big thing when it comes to Champions League games. Are you feeling a little bit like, I don't know how we're going to get on in there? Because you've got the quality, but mentality, again, is a big part of football. So how do you feel Newcastle will do going forward when it comes to like the Champions League?
Yeah, 100%. So yesterday worried me. Like, as you said, I wasn't bothered about Champions League. And I said, I don't even care who we get at this point because I think out of pot 4, no one wants us. So that was like my view. And I wasn't even worried about who we got in the Champions League because I think at St. James's Park, like we can genuinely just play anyone. I'm not win, but we can actually give anyone a game. So yesterday did worry me a little bit, but I'm hoping that's just out of the way now because I've never seen that from us. I've never seen us go into a game like that, shook to the core. Like I've just never... And that's just something I've never seen.
Gumarães said, is it kind of before? He said Etihad is it's a tough place to come. Like
yeah. But even when you battered us last season, like at your place, we didn't look that worried. we just like played the way that we normally play. It was just yesterday. It was like very weird. But I don't know whether it's because the pressure's with us now. Like last season, the pressure wasn't on us because no one was expecting us to get top 4. But this season, it's like, oh, you have to improve. Like you have to get top 4 again. You have to do this. And I don't know whether that's just going to be like a stone on everyone's back like this season, and I hope it isn't. But it was just really, the whole narrative on Twitter was like so annoying yesterday. It was like, oh, Tonali doesn't move me. He's crap. He's not good. When yesterday everyone was waxing lyrical about him on his debut last week, I was like, get in the bin. Like literally, what is Peter's problem? I cannot stand social media after stuff like that actually winds us up. But yeah, I just think it was like we were just not at our best game yesterday. But I just hope that's out of the way now and we can just... That's the hardest fixture. It's the hardest fixture of the league for anyone.
You know what? You're allowed one bad performance.
It's the hardest fixture, isn't it, for anyone? City away. So I'll take it.
I'm not even trying to discredit City, by the way, Hamza, because don't mean that Newcastle bats. That's why you won. City also were good because obviously
Foden was brilliant yesterday. Foden was fantastic.
You've done your thing, so I've got to show respect to City because obviously you found another way to win when people were doubting it. So yeah, man, we'll make sure, guys. Obviously, 1,500 of you still here, so the consistency is mad. So thank you very much. Make sure you smash a like. I don't want to see hardly any I want to see 500 likes plus minimum. Guys, a great panel, football talk. All the guys' channels are down below as well. We're going to go for another 15 minutes max. We're going to talk on Chelsea and Arsenal. But guys, please make sure you do smash the like button and subscribe. And also check out the membership as well. That is down below. There's a gold and silver tier. And tonight we'll see our first members coming on to the evening debate show as well. So there's only 3 people every week. And we've got the first 3 people tonight. So make sure you do hit a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'm gonna come to you, Greasy, now because it's your time today. Chelsea last week looked good in the second half. You can see what Poch is kind of doing already when he's only been there a couple of months. Pre-season was quite decent. You're going to West Ham now. Obviously, like Cass calls him packet of crisp. I don't know if he's going to play because obviously what's going on. They've got Ward-Prowse and Alvarez, but you've got obviously Caicedo and Lavia. One of them or both of them might start. We don't know, but yeah, what were you thinking, man? This is like a proper first away game for Poch. West Ham 4:30. I'm looking forward to it. Real talk.
Listen, I'm excited, man. I've been excited all week. Obviously, we know what happened last week with because the hijacking of Caicedo. Now we've brought in Lavia as well. I don't think Lavia will start the game, in all honesty, but I'm trying to see a little bit more stability in midfield now with a player like Caicedo. Do you get it? So for me, when it comes to the lineup, I don't want to see Gallagher in there. I know Gallagher had a good second half last week, but for me, you know, it was needs must. You get it? He was asked to do a job last week. He came in, he done that job, but now the big boss, the big dog is here now. Caicedo can play in that pivot with Enzo and maybe play Carney in that 10. If you are going to start Gallagher, maybe play him a bit further up. But my main problem with that, he hasn't got the end product that we need. You know, he breaks down so many counter attacks that we have, especially last season. I know you guys probably remember Cass. You was at Old Trafford. Remember how many times this guy was slipping over, falling, just doing what Gallagher does. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I'm just here to sit pretty, my brother. I'm just here to fill in a gap because someone had to run away.
It's filling gap, yeah. Okay, cool.
I'm just gonna say all I'm gonna say. Quick words, because I've seen people saying earlier, like Reaper and that, saying, "Oh, where's Cass? Where's Cass?" Bro, you got tired today, man. You don't need Cass. Yeah, Cass.
We did need Cass. We did need Cass. After that chest you've been showing, bruv.
Brother, my chest. Brother, you better win. If you do not win today,
I'm confident we're going to win today. We must. We must win today. We must.
Because guess what? I will be back, brother. I always say this. I have the last laugh. Kendall knows it. You know it. Lee knows it. Especially Lee knows it. And when we
no. Lee's shaking his head because this is what United fans do. You lot are deluded.
No.
Deluded bunch.
You done this to me. This ain't about Man United. We done this last year. I came back after that Brentford lost that 4-0 stinker. I had Lee up in my grill. Yeah, on Coppish, fam. Don't give me that shit. You know I'll be back, Lee. That's why you're stroking your beard. You know what's going to happen, fam. If you do not beat us at the Emirates and let us get a win or draw, mudded. But it's not about Arsenal. It's about you.
All right, listen. Anyway, Ty, let's talk about a real team because United have had their little spotlight. Let's talk about a real team now.
Yeah. Talk about your real team. The real team.
Let's talk about a real team now.
And the pressure of you not having to win today. Go on.
Listen, again, we have to win. West Ham. They've been a bit of a bogey team for us. I don't know if you guys remember last season. At the London Stadium, Souček, Jared Bowen, and then Souček he handballed it when we should have had that penalty. Do you get what I'm saying? So today, like, I'm expecting a solid lineup. We've got balance at the back. You know, we've definitely got balance in midfield now with Caicedo. That's a big change. But for me, the main question mark is obviously up top. You know, a lot of the fan base have been saying we need to see Mudryk start now. For me, I need to see him start. You know, I need to see him get a run of games and start to be developed by Poch. Because last season, I know, you know, he wasn't looking like the player that we thought we were signing. But if you watched us week in, week out, 90-minute games, you'd see certain bits in parts to say, do you know what? This guy's not rubbed. He's a good player. He just needs a bit of coaching, a little bit of management because he's a bit rash.
Where are you going? You going Mudryk, Jackson, Sterling?
I'm going for, listen. If it was up to me, I'd start Madueke on the right. But Sterling played all right last game. You know, he played all right.
But is that because he links up with Reece James? Are we going to see the Raheem Sterling we've seen the last 12 months now? Reece James ain't there because that's what I think.
This is the thing, though. Like with Gusto, from what I've seen of him so far, which is literally only the preseason games, and obviously when he came on last week, he doesn't seem like someone that whips in a lot of crosses like James. In all honesty, he's quite tight, quite neat in possession. He's able to beat a man and one-on-one, very, very good defensively. So I'm interested to see that dynamic on the right side if he's going to actually whip in the balls. Because if Poch is giving him instructions to whip it in, then he'll do it. Do you know what I mean? But
I think he's going to sit back more and Chilwell's going to be bombing higher.
The one that's going to be high up. Yeah. I think we're going to create a lot of chances today. In all honesty, I don't see United. I keep saying United. West Ham. I don't see West Ham.
You're in your head.
But I don't see. I just don't see the quality that West Ham have overriding the quality that we have right now. Because like you said, you know, Poch has come in already. You can see a clear style of play. I was banging on about preseason. I said, listen, preseason isn't the be all end all, but there's indicators that you can take out of it. Indicators I took out of United was that it's not looking good for you lot. And look how you've started the season. Indicators I took out of Chelsea is that we're looking more. It's looking like we've got a lot more chemistry, a lot more cohesion. You know, a manager that's actually setting out a style of play, patterns of play. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I'm confident, man. I'm confident with the players that we've got right now. I'm not shying away from it. We should be beating West Ham today. I'm expecting a comfortable win at the London Stadium. You know, I'm expecting a comfortable win, man.
What do you think?
If you don't, wait, you didn't ask him. And if you don't,
I'll be disappointed, bro. I'll be disappointed, and we'll speak about the game. We'll speak about the circumstances. I'll be very disappointed, but I just
cool. That's what.
But listen, Cass, you're the same. You're the same guy.
Breezy, I don't need to hear Daps monologue coming from you. That's all I needed to hear.
Listen, we're gonna conversate, but listen, like you guys have all said, Mo said it as well. You lot, listen, you got fair enough questions about firepower at Chelsea right now. Like I said, I want us to have, you know, goals and assists all over the pitch. I'm not expecting one player to just like get all these goals like Jackson. But again, I've got question marks about Mudryk in front of goal. Look at that howler that he missed against United when Lewis Hall whips it into him. I'm looking at Jackson. His finishing was poor last game, but in pre-season it was good. You know, I'm looking at Sterling. He fluffs a lot of chances at times as well. So there's question marks that I need to see that I'm looking at up top. But how I'm looking at it right now, I believe that we're going to dominate the game, and I believe that we're going to create a lot more chances than West Ham, and they should be going in. Do you know what I mean? If we're creating at least 8-10 chances, at least 2 or 3 of them should be going in. That's how I'm looking at the game.
Confident. You are very confident. First away again, West Ham coming off the back. Obviously, I know they drew last week, but obviously of that European trophy, a couple of sidings. Lee, is he? I'm not saying West. Right, you know, you grew up in the ends. Upton Park was Upton Park. Yeah. This is not Upton Park, but it's still
not,
West Ham and all
this
that.
Is my local club. I'm from East, bro. This is my local club.
Okay. So, like, do you think Greasy's underestimating West Ham a bit? First home game of the season. Do you think Chelsea? You've spent the money, as we were talking about. Ten Hag had the money, but Chelsea in a different light, of course. They've got the midfield now, but one of the best pivots in the league. This is where they need to go there and do the business. This is what they're signing the players for. Is that what you're thinking as well?
I mean, listen, the fact that they was on having their parade last week because they got the bloody Caicedo, they better win today. That's it. Like, I don't want to hear no crap about you know this Sterling doesn't miss his chances and Madueke's not starting and Jackson didn't score last week. I'm sorry, just win. Like, I don't really feel like there's a mad topic to be chatting about with Chelsea. They just got to win. They got no reason not to win. And I keep going on about the manager of Ten Hag. Poch likes to play with these types of players. This is his dream. The reason why he didn't do well at PSG is because of the egos, and a lot of people don't do well at PSG, fair enough. So now he's in a position where he's got everything he needs and wants. He's missing his captain, but he's got the backup. He looks a really good player. So make it work. That's all. That's it. Just make it work. You need to score 1 goal. You've got a good defense, which is your words, not mine, Don. So from that now, you don't even need to concede a goal. So just score your 1 goal, keep a tight defense, and keep it moving. Win the game. You've got nothing to keep going on about now because you've accelerated, as I said to you 2-3 weeks ago, you've accelerated what you needed to do over 3 or 4 windows in 12 months. Now, there's no more excuses. You've spent 900 million pounds. I'm sorry. Okay, fine. Even if you sold and you've made another 300 million, you spent 600 million pounds. You've spent what Arsenal have almost spent, or just under what Arsenal spent in 4 windows, or 5 windows, sorry, in 1 window, 3 windows, apologies. So there's no excuses. Just win the game, find a way to win. The manager needs to do that, and that's it. That I don't want to hear no crap about.
Lee's right. Listen, Lee is everything that Lee said. I agree with it 100%. There's going to be no excuses for us not to win today.
The fact of the matter is, you're going up against bloody Ward-Prowse and Alvarez against the midfield that you have. You've got 2 centre backs that look good. You've got rid, and that's the thing with Chelsea. I could even understand logically from a Man United point of view because they got players in their squad they don't like. You've got Anthony. You've got Shaw. Sometimes people don't like.
Chelsea are actually liking
Chelsea like all their players. There's no excuse.
Not Chilwell. I can't lie. Chilwell is a bit.
Okay, but no squad perfect because Man City are going to talk about players that they feel like might be inconsistent with Calvin Phillips, etc. So all I'm saying now is Chelsea have all their players that they like. Newcastle, they got players they don't like. I'm coming to Chelsea now. I'm looking at your team. You've got enough to beat most teams home and away. I don't think you're in a position that Arsenal where they should be pretty much going into games thinking they should win. But this is a game today where you've had a nice period of time off. You've got Lavia. You've got. I mean, the bloody hell. The player that you've got on your bench now, who's going to be.
I said bloody hell.
What's his name? Gallagher. You've got Gallagher, who West Ham wanted. That's the level. So now you've gone the level above. You've gone 2-3 levels above that. Come on, please, just win the game, and that's it, man. I
agree with it, bro. Everything that you're saying, I agree with it, 100%.
Yeah, it's. You know what? I actually like Poch as well. I think. You know what? The main thing is for me with this Chelsea thing, obviously, the change of the managers and that have happened. I was the first show me and you done together, Greasy, and like, I didn't even obviously I didn't know him, but we were both saying about Poch, and I was saying I wanted him if I was a Chelsea fan, and you were saying that you wanted him, but I know a lot of people weren't really on the Poch camp back then. But you've got your manager now, and I think like Lee's saying as well, you've got a lot of players that your team like, and so your fans like, and also you've got the perfect manager that works with that age profile, and that's why it's sort of, you could say, a match made in heaven, because we've seen him do it at Tottenham, and we see what he made them do. I think not the year he left, the year before that, I think their home record was like 1-18 and drew 1. Like, they didn't even lose a home game. And that's when like Spurs were like the Spurs. And then we saw what he done at Southampton as well, when obviously he sort of built them up and made them play attractive football. So you've got the right manager. There's no excuses on the manager front. Also, Premier League experience. And you've got the signings that you all wanted. Like, you've got more than what you wanted. Like, we have a midfield problem at Man United. We haven't solved that in like 5-6 windows now. You've done that in 2 windows. So, like you said, there is no excuses. You've got Caicedo, who is one of the best ball winners in the league, and you've got Enzo, who is one of the best ball players in the league. So it should work. Hamza, you're licking your lips. Is what I wanted to ask you: can Chelsea challenge for the title as well if you're doubting City?
Yeah, they can, and they should definitely. And Lee is right. Like, after spending that money, yeah, you have to. There's no like, oh, we're waiting for a year or 2 years, or it takes us time. Look what Arteta, it took him time, or look what Ten Hag. Because I've realized people copy each other's style, like, oh, because Man United or Arteta, Arsenal fan said it, or a United fan said it, we have to also be given time. Like, Chelsea have to push us to win the league title, because also we're weak. Also, they've made the right recruitments. Caicedo is an incredible player. I rate Caicedo. I really rate Caicedo. I think he's a young 21-year-old who can boss a midfield. Enzo is a brilliant. I wanted him back at River Plate. They spent over 100 million. So their midfield of Lavia, Caicedo is worth 250. The most expensive midfield in Europe. In thing here. Sorry, someone's coughing here. Sorry.
That's cool.
So it's the most expensive midfield, yeah, in terms of in the Premier League or even in the world. Like that, there's no midfield that's more expensive than that. Even Bellingham and Valverde and all that didn't cost that much. Like, so you expected to beat West Ham today. There's no excuses. The only thing that I question Chelsea is making some of their players are never fit, like Reece James being given captaincy, and you hardly see him. As soon as the guy was given,
Chilwell will be captain today now.
Yeah, Chilwell's vice captain, so he's going to be captain today.
The only thing,
you're right.
That's not leadership. I don't see that leadership role. Chilwell's not a leader, so I start questioning that. If they lose that game, then you will question those kind of decisions, like, who was that leader? They used to have Terry who would lead from the back, you know, leaders like Thiago's like the leaders. Ruben Diaz, but they haven't got Chilwell's not a leader, man. Come on.
You're right. The thing is, Hamza, you're right, because when we was having conversations about like who should be the next manager, for me, Chilwell wasn't on my short list. Sterling wasn't on my short list. But what it is, Chilwell kind of got it by default because he's like one of the last ones left from like the squad that we had before. So obviously Reece James kind of got it. Obviously he's been there quite long. Silva was never going to get it because I keep saying he's on his last legs, but the guy's still performing at a world-class level. But he ain't going to be here much longer. He's nearly 39 next month. Do you get what I'm saying? So Chilwell kind of got it by what's the word? He kind of just got it by default. He kind of just got it because he's been there the longest and whatnot with James and Silva. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that's why he kind of got that vice captaincy.
Just the caveat though,
I wouldn't have given it to him though.
You don't need to be a shouter to be a leader, because my captain, he leads by example, by performances. And since he's got the captain armband, he got 15 goals last season, and I think he did more than enough to prove that he's a leader. Whereas we also had players in the squad like your Xhakas, like your Jesuses, like your Zinchenko's, that did it in a different way. So
yeah, they don't. And sometimes you don't even need the armband to be a leader anyway.
Just turn up, do what you need to do, show that you're that comment's crazy, bro. But that Georgie, bro, calm, bro. But that's mad.
Yeah, I put the using timeout. So yeah.
He's a Leicester fan, man. What do you expect, man?
Yo, that is.
You should be, bro. Hey, Georgie, you need to pattern up anyway, because who scored your winning goal yesterday, bro? Caicedo, bro. You need to relax in those comments, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, now, do you know what, Lee? Let's not try and give it the attention actually.
I know. Yeah. That threw me off, bro. Anyway, listen, just win. That's it. Just win. Bro.
Yeah. Guys, don't be doing that. And now you've got me on it now. But yeah, guys, you can't be doing that in the comments, man. No way. Like, just come on, keep it respectful. You don't know who also you're harming in the comments when you're doing stuff like that. So come on, man. Look at the mental health thing, the bullying thing that people have been talking about in life and that. Don't be running comments like that because, you know, you haven't got a real picture there.
Oh, yeah. I want to remove every mod again because I'm seeing stuff like Travorelli banned and I'm seeing the Tata banned again. Someone in here, one of our mods, you think I ain't been watching? You're all getting removed, and some people, the trusted ones, will be added back.
Yeah, we're reinstated. Yeah, man. But yeah, none of them comments, man. But you know what? We're gonna do like 5 more minutes and then wrap up, man. It's been a great show. We only done an hour and a half already, so it's gone so quick. So sorry for keeping you so long, people. But there's a lot to talk about this weekend, and we didn't even talk about Liverpool. But people did. We want to hear stuff on that. That was the evening debate last night as well, which you can go back and watch. 1,500 of you still here, so I want to see more likes, people. Look, we've given you an hour and a half of content. More likes, more subscribers, and also check out every one of these people here. Their contacts are down below there. Go and subscribe to Guna Lee. I think Guna, what are you on the way? How many subscribers in the way to now?
No,
3K?
bro, I ain't even been streaming, bro. I've just been busy, but I'm back. I'm coming back, man. I mean,
yeah. So get ready for the
1,500.
Sorry, bro. Yeah, now I was gonna say, get ready for the reload, people, man. Like, he's gonna be coming back. So go and subscribe, hit him up, show love, man. Obviously, Greasy's always here, Hamza's here. I know Kendall don't do too much on her channel now, but she's always here. So smash a like for all the people in here, people, and subscribe as well. But we're gonna go into Arsenal. Just a few minutes on Arsenal. I know we're talking it more tomorrow as that as well. But you were saying earlier, Lee, like this is an Arsenal team now where you're like, people talk about Crystal Palace, the Monday nights, 8 o'clock. I think, if I'm right, this was actually funny enough, your second game. Last season. Yeah, first game last season. That's it. Yeah. And you went there, evening game, I think it was a Friday night, and you won. You done the business. And you said that you're quite confident now that instead of going to teams thinking, oh, it's Crystal Palace away, stuff like that, you believe in your team now and you're thinking this is where we can be professional and go and win 2-0. Is that what you're expecting tomorrow? Like a routine win?
I honestly think, yeah, you're right. The word professional, that's what we need to do. Last season, our performances away from home were a lot better than our performances at home. I think they haven't got Zaha. They haven't really added amazing quality to their squad.
Elise's still out.
And I think on top of that, listen, we've added Declan Rice, so the counter attack shouldn't be an issue because that's what we know that teams are going to do, especially teams like Crystal Palace. I'll be honest, for me, I really don't feel like there should be as much to worry about in terms of, how other people think this is a real hard game. I think it will be a challenge. The Premier League is a challenge in itself. And obviously under the lights, listen, Man City struggled there for some reason. But I'm not sitting here saying that, we should be going there and not winning the game. I think we have to win the league. And going back to Mo's point, this is where I think that, yes, I said, I'm not hiding away from the fact that Arsenal should win. The same way how I'm not hiding away from the fact that Chelsea to win today. I think we've spent enough money. We've gone there with a squad that we should do the job. We're clearly much better in every single position. There's no way that I can leave that game without the performance. I can take it. A poorish performance just because it's the second game of the season. Yeah, but we have to win. And
you know what? I'm glad you say that because if you've got aspirations, which you said, like you might not win the league, but your aspirations are to definitely challenge and be competitive. If you want to be in that place at the end of the season, come April, these are the games you have to win. People
can I even just stop you there? I think the aspiration has to win the league. That has to be the case. It's not to challenge. The aspiration has to win the league. But my only thing was to say that if Arsenal don't get the league, that Arteta has to be sacked is ridiculous. I'm not going on that rhetoric. That's what I'm saying.
Challenge it. You have to be neck and neck to the end of the season. For me,
he has to challenge and win a trophy. He has to challenge and win a trophy. That's a fact.
The challenge is to win a trophy, but the aspiration has to be to win the league. 110%. I'm never ever going to sit here and say, come on, man, that's craziness. But I'm not going to sit here.
It's not like you spent 900. It's not like you spent 900.
If you don't win the league or a trophy, though, like where do you go from there? Like what happens then?
I think 100% questions need to be asked. But I think, look, there's always give and take. We have to see how it happens. If we get to 2 finals and we don't win, then again, like it just depends how it runs. But I am going to say, if we don't win anything and we leave the season empty-handed again, then yeah, there's some real questions. And does he need to go?
It's more the manner of how you lose the minute.
You
go out in the finals, the last 15 is dead. But if you lose the league by 2 points, you've lost. You're there. If you're 15 points off, dead. Yeah.
I even said in Europe, like I think in Europe, I'll be honest, Real Madrid, they're a great team, but they're not one that I'm looking at thinking, oh my God, Barcelona, I'm not sitting here. I think the Man City.
Really? Real Madrid
I'll
have
be
started on
honest,
fire,
no.
bro.
Lee, what did I say to you? Do you remember when we done our last
Yes,
show?
yeah,
I said to you,
yeah.
when you play in Europe, Greasy, this is what I said to Lee. When you talk about the Emirates, yeah, if you think about when they play, say they get to the quarterfinals, semis, who should they be scared of, really? And I said this to Lee. You remember? I said to him, there's not many teams to be scared of. So Arsenal could get to the semi or final.
Do I think Real Madrid are better than us? 110% they are. But do I feel like do I think that we can't beat them over 2 legs? No, I don't.
I agree with you. I'm with you, Lee. This is why I think, Arsenal, I don't want to play them over 2 legs if we get them later on in the season. At the Emirates, they can ball out of Arsenal, turn up, they can beat anyone, but probably say Man City, really.
The main question with Arsenal in Europe is Arteta, because his European record is poor. Yeah. The players are there, like Lee's saying, the players are definitely there.
And I think if we win 3-0 tomorrow, 3-1 tomorrow, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to sit here and think we're going to win the league, but I'm just going to think, do you know what? We're showing that we've not. Last season wasn't a fluke. That's the first thing we need to prove as an Arsenal, because not everybody I saw in Stratford paddock. I think.
The Jesus look
them, man. Yeah.
They put us to
7th or 8th,
and then I'm like, all right, well, you know what? Let's prove that last season wasn't a fluke. And let's just keep rolling. We've got 7 relatively good games for Arsenal, especially some of them at home. We've got Man United, we've got Spurs at home. So listen, let's just do what we need to do, get through those. I think our next hard game in terms of, after that 7 games is, I think, Man City away. So
Chelsea and Man City, I think it is.
So Chelsea, home. Yeah, no, we've got Chelsea. We've got Man City at home. So
do you know what, Lee? I did want to ask you tactically. Sorry, just before we'll wrap up in a sec. But Gabriel, he didn't play last week, and he played 73 league games in a row. Is he coming back in tomorrow? Is this like what's your situation? What's your take on this? I wanted to hear.
I think Gabriel Magalhaes, the centre back.
Yeah. He played 73 games in a row.
No. I think he just got dropped.
I think it was more of a tactical thing. And then you know what? I just wanted to add on that as well, right? Arteta, everyone kisses Arteta. He plays the same team. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. When he does make the substitutions or when he does try something different, people are like, "Oh, what's he doing?" So he can't win. He's damned if he does. He's damned if he doesn't. So listen, for me, I didn't mind it. I thought it was something different. I know if Pep did it, people will be waxing lyrical. The fact that now Partey was playing right back, everybody thinks that it's an issue. So listen, man, I don't mind it too much. I don't
support this year. Don't worry, Gabriel Saka's in my FPL. They put my vice and my captain. I'm supporting you fully this year. I hope you win on Monday. FPL team, come on, let's go and all that kind of stuff. It's not like Arteta spent 900.
I'm about to go and watch the Abbey now, and I needed to slap a couple of these.
In Arteta we trust. Do
you think Gabriel comes back in? Then did he start tomorrow?
I think he'll come back in. I think if we go away from home and we play Partey at right back, I think it will be a mistake. But
against Decore and that.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll be honest with you. Again, the manager's given the rope to himself to hang himself or to do something really well. So let's just go out there and do what we need to do. Whether we play Partey at right back, whether we play centre back with Gabriel and play our normal 4-1-2 or 3 up and 3 forward, we should have enough. I think the bigger problem will be if we play Trossard or we play Nketiah.
I was just about to ask you that question. I was just about to ask you who would start.
Yeah, I think tomorrow, I do think that Trossard will come in because he's just making such a difference. But you know what, with Arteta, the kind of poker games that he likes to play, I don't know. But I just think that Crystal Palace can't hold a candle to us at this moment in time. I'll be honest with you.
Bit harsh to drop Eddie in it after he scored the last game and that.
Listen, I'll be honest. That's what top teams and top managers do, and he's got to go out and prove it. Everybody keeps saying that he's a bottler, so he needs to come out here, and he can't keep playing the same players. You play well, but it's horses for courses. There might be one game where today or tomorrow you play a solid 3 in the middle of Lavia, and you drop one of your players.
It depends on the fixture.
You can't.
And Lee, you make such a good point as well, because Pep does this here with Man City. Like they all know that they're a team and Pep's gonna go with the best 11 for the job that needs to be done. Do you get it? That's why everyone needs to pull together and buy into the project. Because what happens is, if you don't, you have players like Cancelo that complain, they want to get out. So Eddie shouldn't see it as I should feel at a disjustice if I don't start, because it's like, you know what, I think Trossard would be better for this game.
The the main thing is, and I'll say is everybody needs to be ready. There's no one that can be sitting there thinking, "Oh, I'm soaking," and that's why Lukonga didn't make it at Arsenal. If you watch the Arsenal documentary, there was a point when him and Eddie were talking, and he was, Lukonga was crying upset because he wasn't playing. And Eddie's like, stop moaning, man. Like this is top level football. So listen, man. Like I'm not gonna sit here and start complaining, bro. Like if you're good enough, you'll play. If you're and that's the thing. We've got two players, especially in Martinelli and Saka. They're on fire right now, man. They're doing some really good stuff, and I just think that even if we had a poor game, those two would drag it out for us. And,
that's the thing. Arsenal could play bad, City could play bad, they still find a way to win, and that's what we'll see if Chelsea could do today. Because if they're not on it, can they find a way to win? We're going to wrap it up there, man. That was a great stream. There was a lot to talk about. Obviously, 15 minutes, Aston Villa, Everton. So I'm going to go and lock into that, see what Diaby can do and Watkins. And then obviously we've got the Chelsea Aston Villa game as well. Don't forget tonight,
West Ham game. Chelsea West Ham game.
Sorry, Chelsea West Ham. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. Don't forget, guys, tonight.
It's official. Sign contract on a napkin, Messi style. Cass on loan 23-24. Even put in blue. So
where you going on loan to?
I'm going on loan to Arsenal this season.
Wow, this is shameless stuff.
City, wow,
can't stand Chelsea. 940 million squad. You must. Man City, you got no players. You must.
Yes. I thought you had a soft spot for Chelsea, bro.
You aggravate me, my brother. You aggravate me. On loan.
All right, guys.
What I told you is coming to fruition. I told you.
and I'm going on loan to Newcastle halfway through the season as well for 1 week as soon as they batter Liverpool as well. I like Newcastle now. I hate Liverpool. I can't lie. Newcastle, we're there. We're with you. No more stand.
It's really bad. You know when Kaz backs Newcastle, it's very bad.
100%. I will agree.
Wait,
the way he's been
we're all backing you next week.
Wait, before you round up, Ty, Cass, where are you putting United to finish the season?
Watch, bro. Last year we're 3 points better off than we were in two games. We must.
That's your logic. That's your logic. That's your logic.
Yeah,
where you finish it? You still finish it.
No, you're the same guy that says you can't really put all eggs in one basket in one game, and it's too rational to make judgments using your logic.
It's not just one game though. I wasn't convinced by your preseason. I wasn't convinced by it.
Greasy. We'll be there.
Where you finish it? Don't avoid the question. Where you finish it?
If you don't finish in second, we'll be there. We'll be there.
And on that note, we're gonna wrap it, guys. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to all the man them down below as well. We'll be back tonight, evening debate, and we're gonna have, like I said, 3 members coming on to the show as well for the first time. And if you want to get involved, if you get the membership, the silver and gold tier, and every week we'll be announcing on the Soccer Saturday brunch show who's gonna be on every Sunday. But guys, we're gonna wrap it out there. Everyone enjoy their Sundays. Peace and love, and we'll catch you soon.